Hi, I'm Boris the Bee Guy, Forest Beehive Apiary, Central Maine. After a long, brutally cold winter, the first warm spell can't come soon enough for my bees and me. The bees are flying. Out of 6 hives, 4 colonies have made it through the winter without treatments and without supplemental sugar feedings. In this video, I'll show why the remaining 2 colonies, which were still alive in mid-February, did not make it. And it's 100% my fault, a beekeeper error that I'm determined never to repeat. During this first warm spell, there is still no natural forage, so it's a good time to feed the bees with their own fall honey that I stored for them in the freezer. I made sure to bring these partial honey frames to room temperature before giving them to the bees. For the first time, instead of a traditional smoker, I will try this Apisolis smokeless vaporizer. It heats a solution of essential oils and releases it as a cool vapor to calm the bees without smoke by interfering with their alarm communication. Native Nova is their new botanical formula that is supposed to work better with defensive colonies. To start the vaporizer, I slowly and fully engage the bellows 3 times and then wait for the bees. A few seconds later, a smoke-like vapor appears. When the bees are just coming out of winter, before they had first brood, they can be more defensive. At this stage, my bees did not take kindly to the Apisolis vaporizer, and I had to switch to a traditional smoker, which worked like a charm. Here I'm opening the top lid and removing the extra top insulation. And here's one of the warmed up capped honey frames. I will give it to the bees after lightly scratching the cappings so they can access the honey more easily. I open the lid and you can see how the bees wintered. In a heavily insulated 1/3 of the hive with a volume of roughly 10 gallons or about 40 liters. There's a sackcloth pillow filled with raw sheep wool. It sits on the top of a folded army wool blanket. A tight-fitting divider board, also called a follow board, is also insulated with raw sheep wool wrapped in a towel. With this extensive insulation and reduced volume, the setup mimics how the bees winter in natural tree hollows. To feed the bees, I first need to take out all the insulation. For this colony, I will feed this frame of partially capped honey. I open the divider board, and as the bees come out, I calm them with some lateral smoke, disrupting the alarm signals. It works like a charm, much better than the smokeless Apisolis vaporizer did. I slide the divider board away to make space for an extra frame. Using a capping fork, I lightly scrape the wax cuppings of the honey frame in a horizontal direction, so there's less honey leakage. For now, I'm scraping only one side of the frame, the inner side. Before sliding the frame in, I use a little smoke to drive the bees down so I don't squish them while inserting the new frame with exposed honey. Then I press the insulated divider board tightly against the frames. In climates with cold winters, horizontal hives require the divider board to fit tightly, with no gaps or cracks. As I found out, the only difference between the 4 surviving colonies and the 2 that perished is that only in the perished colonies the divider boards were fitting very loosely. Because the divider boards were loose, heat escaped through the gaps, and instead of warming a small insulated winter space, the bees had to heat a much larger volume, consuming far more honey in the process. In the perished colonies, there were many bees on the bottom board, and this is what remained of the winter cluster, a classic sign of starvation, with bees' heads deep in the cells. There's no band of honey above the remaining bees. Even though there is honey on the side, in brutal cold, bees can only move upward because the heat rises and gradually melts the wax cappings. You can see the green marked 2024 Queen. She was excellent. She led her colony through the previous winter and would have likely survived this one if only I had insulated the inner bee space properly. The warm spell will end in a day, so I am putting most of the insulation back for wintering and closing the hive. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe.